Ifa Dreams Media timakunyadilani kwambiri chifukwa munapanga chisankho chotsatira ife kuti tizikupatsirani zonse zomwe zikuchitika mdziko muno.
We start with news that the Human Rights Defenders Coalition HRDC has urged government to urgently replenish strategic fuel reserves amid fuel scarcity in the country. HRDC chairperson Michael Gayatsa made the call following Energy Minister Jean Matanga's revelation that the country has been operating on a hand-to-mouth fuel system. Governance expert George Chaima has also warned that without backup storage, Malawi will continue to face fuel crisis. Details with Sarah Tembo.
Bunge la Human Rights Defenders Coalition HRDC lalangiza. The Human Rights Defenders Coalition HRDC has urged government to deliver tangible relief to Malawians struggling with persistent fuel shortages and blackouts. HRDC chairperson Michael Gayatsa says while the coalition welcomes government's return to open tendering in fuel procurement, authorities must draw lessons from past abuses to ensure transparency and accountability.
The open tender system was abandoned by the previous government because of numerous cases of abuse and corruption that had been noted. So it's important that the new administration should address these bottlenecks and ensure that there is no any manipulation of political interference in the awarding of contracts.
Governance expert George Chaima concurred with Gayatsa, noting that although open tendering promotes transparency, it can also slow down the process during emergencies.
It delays the procurement process. In an emergency case like a situation whereby we do not have enough for fuel in our gas station or in our reserves, then I think open tender would not augur well to tame the situation.
On Tuesday, Minister of Energy Jean Matanga announced that 3.2 million litres of fuel are expected to arrive in the country by Friday. For Zodiakin Lilongwe, this is Sarah Tembo. The Human Rights Defenders Coalition.
This year's farm subsidy program FSIP has been launched with a call to law enforcers to crack down middlemen masquerading as beneficiaries. Agriculture Minister Rosa Mbirizi said this yesterday in Mchinji during the launch. Meanwhile, Mbirizi has warned sales clerk in all the 600 selling points for smallholder farmers fertilizer revolving fund of Malawi, SFFRFM, against extortion or first law. We have a report filed by Blessings Kangombe.
Agriculture Minister Rosa Mbirizi says the honeymoon is over for all middlemen who allegedly procure subsidized inputs on behalf of the beneficiaries and later sell the same for personal gains. Mbirizi adds that security has been tightened this year to ensure only deserving farmers are accessing the inputs.
It is very crucial, considering the situation that we are in. There is declaration by the president that there is hunger in this country, and we don't want that to happen again next year. So the president directed that the number of beneficiaries should go up to 1.1 million from 530,000. So it is very critical that the program is implemented in the way that it has been planned.
Farmers Union of Malawi President Manes Nkata admitted the presence of fake seeds and substandard fertilizers on the market, but urged authorities to be on alert to address the problem.
These tenders of fake seeds should finish once and for all by contributing as ourselves, make sure that every stakeholder is there to make sure that they protect the farmers at the end of the day. This is a challenge really for so many years, so we don't want such practices to move forward because it brings hunger in the country.
Meanwhile, Senior Chief Mavero Vunchenji has committed to work with community policing structures to strengthen security. 1.1 farmers are benefiting from this year's FSIP, where they will access both NPK and urea type of fertilizers weighing 50 kilograms at 10,000 kwacha each and 5 kg cereal seed. On the other hand, 1,800 farmers in Salima and Mwanza will benefit from the goats under a pass-on program according to the Ministry of Agriculture.
Meanwhile, World Food Programme has donated pesticide residues testing equipment to Malawi Bureau of Standards worth 2 billion kwacha, aimed at addressing 70% rejection of Malawi sesame exports due to non-compliance. WFP Country Director Dr. Hyang Jun Lim believes that technology can accelerate change in Malawi. Speaking yesterday in Blantyre during the handover ceremony, MBS Deputy Director General Thomas Sengani Malunje held the gesture, arguing that it will help in agricultural products testing. Kelly Shibwana has filed this report read by Kasim Albi.
Japanese ambassador to Malawi, Yoichi Oya, said they are only able to import 3,000 metric tons of sesame from Malawi, although their wish is to be importing a double or triple of that tonnage from Malawi. Oya said this is the reason they decided to donate this equipment to Malawi Bureau of Standards to enhance quality of the sesame they are buying from Malawi.
I went to Chicago yesterday and interact with farmers. We'd like to increase the quantity of importation from this country. So the Japanese regulation is very strict. We need to overcome this problem. Japan decided to support capacity of MBS with our instrument.
Thomas Sengani Malunje is MBS Deputy Director General and said the equipment is of great significance.
So what it means is that we have a system, we have the personnel, we have the equipment. Now the sesame product can easily be tested right here in Malawi, especially for pesticide residues, which is a requirement for the destination market of Japan.
WFP Country Director for Malawi, Dr. Hyang Jun Lim, said the technology can accelerate change in Malawi and they will keep working hand in hand with MBS.
We are here to support the government, building capacity. Some of our MBS staff were trained in South Africa, UK, and Kenya, so they will build capacity with this equipment. So it's a very important milestone for exporting, opening new market for Malawi.
According to the government of Japan, this equipment will enable Malawi to meet international food safety and quality standards, therefore unlocking its potential in global sesame markets.
In Malawi, Liverpool Wellcome Trust and Kamuzu University of Health Sciences KUHES research has revealed that multimorbidity, having 2 or more chronic illnesses, is becoming a major health and economic challenge in Malawi. The research shows the health system, largely designed for single diseases, is ill-prepared for overlapping physical, mental, and infectious conditions, which place heavy social and financial burdens on patients, families, and communities. Presenting the findings in Lilongwe, Professor Adamson Mola of KUHES said the study is the first in sub-Saharan Africa to document overlapping conditions in hospital patients, even as authorities maintain that hospitals have the capacity and skilled personnel to manage such cases. Chisomo Jingwalu reports.
Presenting the findings in Lilongwe, Professor Adamson Mola of KUHES, representing the Malawi Liverpool Wellcome Trust, said multimorbidity is common, costly, and poorly addressed in Malawi and across sub-Saharan Africa. Professor Mola emphasized the need for more resources focused on community-level prevention and integrated treatment.
Our patients, especially adults, they come in with a lot of illnesses, but what was happening is that the person coming in to the health facility was being managed as having just one illness, and if they needed care for the other illnesses, they'll be referred out to other parts of the hospital or health facilities for care.
Dr. Jonathan Ngoma, Director of Curative and Medical Rehabilitation Services at the Ministry of Health, said Malawi's hospitals have the capacity and skilled personnel to manage patients with multiple conditions.
Basically, it agrees with the principles of the Health Sector Strategic Plan 3, where we're talking about integration, where we love to have our services integrated rather than working in silo. Where if one comes to the clinic, should be attended holistically rather than people coming to different clinics on different days, on different weeks, which also has an economic burden on the people.
Conducted between 2022 and 2025 with funding from the UK National Institute for Health and Care Research. The study examined the prevalence and impact of multiple chronic conditions, filling a critical knowledge gap in Malawi.
Tikuyamikeni komanso kuthokozani popanga chisankho chokhala pamenepa kumvetsera komanso kuonera zomwe takubweretserani. Chomwe tingakupempheni choti ngati muli alendo pamudzi pano tapangani subscribe, chifukwa mukatero inu ndife tidzendera limodzi kuyambira lero mpaka na masiku omwe akubwera kusogoloko. Timabweratu ndi nkhani zochokera ngodya zonse zinayi za mdziko lino, kotero kuti inu simukuyenera kuti mukhale kunja kwa nkhani zimenezi. Tapangani subscribe, like, comment komanso share kuti tikhale limodzi mu ulendo umenewu.